Hello, I'm Susan Cadeau. Thank you for being with us. A Senate panel has been told now is not the time for Oklahoma to stop providing a subsidy for operations of the Heartland Flyer. The interim study made clear that millions of dollars in new development is occurring in Oklahoma City and in Ardmore because of the train. But most importantly, in far southern Oklahoma, the Chickasaw Nation is buying up land for a train stop in Thackerville, home to the world's largest casino.
Just having an interim study on continuing subsidies for the Heartland Flyer was enough to get State Senator Frank Simpson a barrage of comments.
Received a lot of emails in the past 2 months since we asked for this study, and most of them were accusing me of wanting to do away with the Heartland Flyer and abolish the Heartland Flyer, and really isn't the case.
But in explaining his goal, Senator Simpson made clear continuing funding of over $2 million a year for the Flyer is up for serious review.
Our ultimate goal is to collect enough information so that myself and my colleagues can make an educated decision on the Heartland Flyer, with our focus being what is in the best interest of the taxpayers in the state of Oklahoma.
The main issues for lawmakers: why does Oklahoma pay a bigger subsidy than Texas, and is Texas likely to bow out of their end of the deal at some point?
They're still supportive, but to your point, maybe not as much as they were before. But they're looking at their priorities just like as we are looking at ours.
Mike Patterson is executive director of the Oklahoma Department of Transportation. He says there are thousands of new connections being made in Fort Worth because of the Flyer.
There's another something that goes on in Fort Worth, and that's people changing trains to the rest of the Amtrak system.
Oklahoma City Chamber of Commerce President Roy Williams pointed to money Fort Worth has invested in their multimodal transportation hub.
When you look at what Fort Worth has done in theirs, as well as the other stops along the way. So there's been mutual investment. It's not just been north of the Red River.
Investment has been occurring all along the route of the Heartland Flyer. Ardmore launched a major park project and other improvements that's costing millions of dollars. Oklahoma City is putting nearly $30 million into the Santa Fe station, making it a multimodal transportation hub. Jane Abraham, manager of Community and Government Affairs for Oklahoma City, says the city is not backing away from its plans out of some concern about what Texas might do.
Continue to be to move forward on enhancing the transportation system in Oklahoma City. As Roy just mentioned, the streetcar system is moving along. We're manufacturing streetcars. We're going to put rail in next year.
But what probably carried the most weight with the Senate panel were the comments from the ambassador at large of the Chickasaw Nation, Neil McCaleb. He told the panel the nation sees big business in a new train stop in Thackerville.
The largest gaming floor in the world, 1,500 hotel rooms, an 18-hole golf course, and we just completed a 60,000 square foot convention center. So we're in business for business, and that means transportation.
McCaleb says the nation is ready to take the risk that passenger rail service is here to stay.
Because we believe that we will, as Amtrak has indicated, we will significantly increase the passenger use by 12%. And I think what we really need is 2 trains a day.
And he endorsed a second train, as does ODOT Executive Director Mike Patterson.
Adding a second train has a cost, but we also think there's a big benefit to that.
And that's when expansion of passenger rail traffic took over the hearing. State Senator Kevin Matthews of Tulsa wanted to know when trains will begin moving people between Oklahoma City and Tulsa.
I have to drive 100 miles back and forth to Oklahoma City to be here today. And just being able, for me, I have a business in Tulsa, and I can't do any business for 3 hours coming here and going back. But if I were on a train, I could do that business, and I think a lot of people would take advantage of that.
Craig Moody, Rail Division Program Manager for ODOT, says inspections will begin soon on all the improvements that have been made to the track between Tulsa and Oklahoma City.
Inspect the line so that we can reach that FRA Class 3 ranking on that railroad. That will then allow them to start making the steps so that passenger rail operation can move forward.
But 2 big issues remain. First, getting the train from its current endpoint in Sapulpa to downtown Tulsa.
But I believe it's up to the the city of Tulsa to make that happen.
Second is getting the train from its other endpoint in Midwest City to downtown Oklahoma City.
Iowa Pacific has been working with the city of Oklahoma City so that the stop in Midwest City can actually come into downtown Oklahoma City, more than likely by the Bricktown parking area.
If everything can be worked out, Senator Matthews will have plenty of train access.
We're very excited because they're talking about 4 trains a day, 7 days a week.
The other extension of the flyer involves going north from Oklahoma City up to the major Amtrak depot in Newton, Kansas. Wichita City Manager and Vice Mayor Pete Metzner pointed to a 2011 study that shows such an extension would mean a dramatic increase in ridership.
If they just took the existing sets and extended it up to Newton, they get in late, turn it around, and come to still meet the existing schedule today, that 89,000 was projected to go to 200,500.
Amtrak now offers a charter bus from Newton to Oklahoma City to make connections with the Heartland Flyer. Councilman Metzner was quizzed about that by Senator Simpson.
So you rode the bus from Wichita to Kansas, or to Oklahoma City,
Yes,
and then Heartland Flyer down to Fort Worth?
Yes, it was surprisingly easy, convenient, as Senator you've mentioned, and $64. I'm not sure I could drive to Fort Worth from Wichita.
Amtrak says from April through September, 1,800 people took that bus ride. Councilman Metzner says that is important information.
We in Kansas are going to ask Amtrak to do, now that they have this data, to do a more accurate revenue versus cost to see what those numbers would be.
Evan Stair, president of Passenger Rail Oklahoma, believes the state subsidy should actually be increased.
And hopefully the results of this interim study will be, we need to invest more in passenger rail, not eliminate what we have.
Stair says any talk of ending the subsidy for the flyer would cost the state and communities millions in tax dollars because of all the money spent by passengers coming from not only Oklahoma, but increasingly from border states.
This might be a dollar waiting on a dime. The Heartland Flyer has been studied. It has been shown to provide economic benefit in communities beyond the subsidy that is provided by the state.
Lawmakers go back to work full-time in February and will probably face a budget hole in excess of $700 million.